Welcome back to User Experience Points, everybody. My voice is a little tired this week, but the show must go on. This week we're going to look at South Park: The Stick of Truth. I absolutely love this game. I love the humor, the modernized turn-based battle system.
Clyde, you have to wait your turn. That's lame. No, Clyde, it's like olden times. You have to wait your turn, like in the Middle Ages, Clyde.
And the fact that you're really playing South Park, the video game. It's absolutely above and beyond what fans of the show could have ever wanted. That said, it's got some serious usability flaws that can hinder an otherwise lovely experience.
Yeah, we love you too!
Let's start out positive. The character creation in this game is lovely because it's designed to be done as quickly as possible to get you moving and saves the more difficult decisions until they're relevant. The initial setup is purely cosmetic, with your name reserved until the joke behind it becomes relevant.
You entered douchebag, is that correct? Are you sure you want to keep the name douchebag? Very well, douchebag.
Followed by choosing your class right before you learn how to fight.
A mage is like a wizard, only not as cool.
Your options may seem limited at first, but pretty early on you'll learn that you can obtain more customization options by exploring the world. In a way, character creation is integrated throughout the entire game. Awesome! This initial setup is also set up to be very linear, like a software installation wizard. Each time you select an option, you're immediately moved to the next step. If that option has further choices, like color, you're kept on the same screen, so it's less visually confusing when you go back and want to try on, say, another shirt, for example. It's fast, it keeps mental load light, and serves as a perfect introduction into the game's world. Learning the game mechanics is a pretty smooth process thanks to how spread out the tutorials are, though the way it actually teaches you is clunky and often frustrating. One of the primary ways the game presents new information is with these text pop-ups. I'm completely okay with this practice in theory, but for some reason in the Stick of Truth you're unable to make the messages go away manually. It seems like the idea was to make them disappear once you successfully complete the action being explained, and sometimes it actually works, like when you're in the menu. Other times they just kind of hang around and there's no way to get rid of them unless they decide to go away. The combat tutorials are unfortunately much worse. They start out great by guiding you through the process of learning each section of your action wheel. The other sections are temporarily disabled, forcing you to learn how moving the hand with the joystick works as well, which is a nice touch. However, I can't fathom why it was decided that the game will literally not progress until you can successfully complete certain actions. For example, you can be stuck on this screen forever listening to Cartman insult you while trying to get the timing right on blocking.
I said block, not get nailed by. Maybe I wasn't clear. Try again.
More maddening examples come later when the completely unintuitive fart mechanics come into play. I seriously just said that. Alright. There's no reason to lock the player in a tutorial like this either way. Once you've started your journey proper, you have full access to your main menu where you manage equipment, check on quests, switch party members, and more. At surface it seems great, but, well, the inventory screen buries useful information unnecessarily, and every section looks completely different in spite of some obvious places patterns could have been repeated for a more consistent look. But this menu does have two great things going for it. Well, three if you count the awesome way it looks just like Facebook. Seriously, I can imagine my character looking at this UI on a smartphone or something. Visually, it's rad. The consistent controls for the menu are a huge plus. Each section is a little different in the way you interact with it, but the hierarchy of using the controller triggers to switch sections and the bumpers to switch tabs within the selected section helps maintain navigational consistency throughout. Also, each of the important sections are mapped to directions on the controller's D-pad for more efficient management. Up opens the map, left shows the inventory, right shows your quests, and down jumps to your party. It's a mixed bag, but it gets the job done once you get past its frustrations. Let's dig deeper into one of these sections. The inventory screen is where you manage your equipment, consumables, cosmetic options, and any other items you've collected. And the whole left half is just awful. Comparing weapons is probably the least frustrating, with a clear indicator of whether the weapon you're looking at will do more or less damage than the one you have equipped, but the amount of damage displayed is made unnecessarily confusing with an unexplained multiplier attached. This is referring to how many times you get to attack with the weapon per turn. It's great that the multiplayer is there, but a simple label would eliminate all confusion. Comparing currently equipped armor with other options is much more frustrating. You're given zero indication of whether the item you're looking at is any better or worse than what you have equipped. The only way to get that information is to scroll back to your equipped armor. Why couldn't the arrow from the weapon selection be here? Why not even pop it onto the overall armor value down here while you're scrolling? It doesn't make any sense. You may have noticed that both weapons and armor sometimes additionally have special extra passive bonuses like setting enemies on fire or providing protection against specific types of attacks. There's no breakdown anywhere of which of these traits are currently active on your character. You can see them if you scroll through your equipped items, but it would have been nice to give the inventory its desperately needed secondary navigation to make room for improvements like this, and maybe divide these 11 little menus across 2 more easily digestible tabs. Also, the odd number of menus here is responsible for this completely unnecessary line used to try and balance them. It's not that big of a deal, but the visual designer in me tries to hulk out every time I see it. Overall, I would say that the menus in the Stick of Truth are functional enough to get you by and enjoy what's really important.
Would you like to see my wares, weary traveler? Perhaps you would like to hear tips and rumors for $2? Don't waste your money on tips and rumors.
But I definitely think that some extra effort could have been put to make them more usable. And with that, we are out of time for this week. Thanks again for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. This video series is getting close to its 10th episode, and I've been just absolutely loving the response it's been getting. It's not like it's gone viral, and it definitely never will, but I've got a following of some really cool UX people. I couldn't have asked for a better response, honestly. So keep it coming. I love your guys' feedback. Let me know if there's some games you want me to talk about, and I will see you next week.
Don't talk to her, she's not part of the game. Don't talk to her, she's not part of the game. Don't talk to her, she's not part of the game. Don't talk to her, she's not part of the game. Don't talk to her, she's not part of the game. Don't talk to her, she's not part of the game. Don't talk to her, she's not part of the game.